All right, hell yeah. So we're going to watch these in real time. And I'm going to be maybe talking about kind of like a tutorial. And so on that surf in particular, this is surf number 5, we caught the top of the wave. And this wave is slanted. So on river right, it's slanted towards river right. You can kind of see the opening of the slant. And so when we caught the top, we were able to ride that towards the camera, towards that portion of the shore, and still paddle our way in. And so hell yeah. And there's going to be 3 views of the same wave. So this is still wave number 5. We're going to do back of the boat footage. So I'm going to try to hit it at the peak, but then, and I'm going to try to get that tube that I'm on to drive in as well. And so I'm actually driving to the left, and I think that is kind of what saved this wave. And we'll show like there's 5 different surfs, and we kind of catch them in different ways. But because that side over there is the lowest, I was able to actually catch that. And so if you have waves that are difficult, hey, there's places where you can catch them, but then maybe you can hit that catch point and then start driving to the lower portion of that wave. Hell yeah. So in this video, we also kind of show, kind of paddling to shore in that clip. So, all right, hell yeah. So this is the same footage. Hit that top part, and then in that tube that I'm on, if you drive that tube in, I can consider that a low side turn, like where the tube that you're on is lower in the trough, or kind of, does that make sense? Like if the boat is angled and then you're on the lower tube. If you paddle that lower tube in, you can get a lot of downstream momentum. And I need to actually work on that. When I get like places where I'm getting kicked out, it means that I should have been more on the downstream or in the trough tube, kind of paddling my way in. So especially if I'm... Okay, so this is surf number 4. We surfed it from that other side. From the back of the boat footage, we'll kind of show that it's kind of easier with momentum towards the camera. In this footage, we do the spins, and we do this enough, I'll be able to talk about that. But switching my body around. Okay, so hell yeah. So we're going to talk about this catch. This catch was really easy because I'm driving with this momentum and I'm catching into that pile, and it bites the boat at like a kind of a 90, sideways, like a broached boat. But because we have some momentum, you know what I mean, it kind of planes across the surface. It doesn't purl. And it just really helps catch. And we've already talked about how the lower portion, this kind of feeds towards that river right shore. Okay, hell yeah. So this is wave number 4. We have a top 5 countdown. And so again, coming in here, pinching off of that and using that momentum. So I think that really shows it. Our momentum is driving from surfer's right to surfer's left. We're catching on that. It's throwing us into the trough because this wave is open. I don't know how, like what terminology, but that across the shore on that river right side, that wave is lower over there. Okay, hell yeah. All right, so this is going to be number 3. So that's a really solid catch, big on the punch, and then we were on the low side tube. Now let's talk about how to do these spins, because I'm actually getting into a reversed position, and then when I actually bring the spin around, I'm facing forward. And this wave is tricky for me is because it's slanted to that corner, I have to be on my offside. Like if I'm straight surfing, I have to be edging on my right side. And so even here, I'm trying to maybe catch it on my right side, but we gave up on that. My left side is so crisp that I'm just so more dialed in on catching these waves on my left side, and then get moving to the right. And there, I get backwards, and then bring the boat around. And so I'll do a separate tutorial on that, but that is, and like right here is like, hey, I'm almost getting pieced out, but these backward paddle strokes, and maybe in wave number 2 or wave number 1, we actually complete that move. After the main wave, there's another little sticky hole. Okay, so hell yeah. So this is still wave number 3. Just a different footage from shore. Hell yeah. So I'm going to get backwards, and then I'm going to sweep the boat around. I could do that move facing downriver, but it's just so much easier because that's my left side. And so, like, technically I should be on the right side of the boat, but I'm switch. So I'm paddling on my stronger left side, and I'm just backwards, and that puts me on that right side. Okay, hell yeah. So this is wave number 2. So on this top 5, this is comes in at number 2. And even just paddling from that eddy into this wave is difficult enough. It's not guaranteed at this level that I'm able to do that every time. And so like right here, I'm backwards. And this move right here, I'm going to make a tutorial because even the C1 freestyle kayakers, there's a freestyle competition going on right now. That back movement is how you can get. I mentioned that this wave is angled, to one side, and it's difficult to climb back into the middle. And so using that backward stroke, that's almost the easiest and maybe sometimes the only way for me to get my boat back up the wave, if the wave has an upper location. And so hell yeah, so this is kind of the top part of the wave. Over on my left shoulder, over there it's lower. So if I get kicked over there, I need to work my way back to this location. And so like right here, we're at that lowest point, and so hell yeah, we were able to kind of do a forward stroke here. But like right here, I'm kind of, let's see if I even do this. So right now I'm backwards, and I can either spin the boat around, and keeping the boat spinning around, I can kind of attain over onto that right side a little easier. So surf number 1 for sure really shows that this is still surf number 2 from different footage, just from the middle island. And so hell yeah. And this one was nice to even get kind of a little straight surf. And that'll be for a separate tutorial to actually, hey, how do you kind of stick the straight surf? But that move right there, getting backwards and then paddling. And I'm just spinning off of that shoulder, but if I really wanted to, I could get to the center of that wave. But definitely, and this really shows that this wave really wants to kick you out on that river right side. Okay, hell yeah, wave number 1. And this was sweet. I even got people clapping in the audience, so that was pretty sweet. So we actually hit this from shore, heavy edge angle, catch it. I think we do a little straight surfing. Even right here, we're on this closer side, and so I need to be prying on this side, but shifting my body towards the center. And so because that kind of kicks the boat up into the wave to the right, but keeps it from hooking in. If I actually had my body on the full right side and was over there, it's going to spin. And so that's what it does instantly right there. That really shows it. Now we are doing this backwards. That was a forward spin. And then a couple forward spins. So yeah, we were actually practicing that. Those are harder, doing the forward spin. It was easier to turn around backwards. But hell yeah, we saved that. And I think we even do... Yep, and that was good enough to get some claps from the audience and some hell yes. All right, so yeah, paddling from this eddy all the way across. It's a long way across to get into that wave, and that's kind of a fun move as long as you can do it. It's depressing when you can't even paddle in. That's always a bummer. But hell yeah, so there you go. The right side of my boat wants to kick to the right, you know what I mean, surfer's right. And so I'm pry it back, over on that side. And I could just sit over there, but it kind of works to shift my body this way, and then I just have to just flip around. And so that's kind of a sweet little move. When you do shift your body to the center, you're just ready to take that backstroke. Kind of switch sides with the paddles. Hell yeah. And then even here, this is a low side turn, driving back in, getting onto that tube, and we're driving it back in with a reverse stroke, but still just good awareness on that one. That was impressive to me. Okay, hell yeah, we're going to watch this, from one other piece of, from the middle island maybe. But hell yeah, showing how to paddle to shore. Cool. Take shorter strokes. I found that sometimes is actually way better than deeper strokes. Okay, hell yeah. So surf number 1 from the middle island, paddling all the way out in there. Hell yeah. Now we're going to kind of get towards that left side. So we want to come back. Now we're on that left side of the waves. We want to pry on the left. And this gives us an opportunity to shift our body to the center. But prying to the left keeps the boat from just really wanting to spin around that pile that you see in front of us. But then once we do want to spin, we get onto that tube, do our spin, hell yeah. And then we're going to practice 2 forward spins. Hell yeah, just kind of normal forward spins. And then right here, get on that lower tube, paddle back in. I consider that almost like a shoulder turn when you're actually paddling back into the wave. Same principles of catching. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining me. Booyah.